Hey, hey, hey. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Hey, hey, happy Sunday, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Right, all
All
right.
right, all right. That happened so fast, I wasn't paying attention.
It happened it happened very
Yeah,
quick.
just like today, man, the day just went like poof.
Right.
We woke up this morning and it's 9 o'clock already.
Look,
Where did the time go?
it just go.
And we're in the midst of this heat wave right now. Ooh, it's hot. I
Man,
went
listen.
outside. I took a shower before I went out. I'm taking a shower before I go to bed because I'm hot. I feel sweaty and dirty just from going out for an hour.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how hot it is. Hot for the UK.
yeah. And especially not being able to have like no Acon or nothing like that.
Oh yeah, no ceiling fans, no
Listen,
aircon.
I need a ceiling
Ooh.
fan, a Acon, something. Dying over here in the
You
heat.
dying? We
I'm
got
not
fans.
I'm not looking forward to going up in our bedroom in the attic. Okay. It's hotter than a I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
It's even got me drinking
It's
water.
hot, okay?
It's even got me drinking water.
Imma be sleeping down in the, studio today.
That's fine. I have the whole bed to myself.
Oh, no, I can't sleep
Hallelujah.
like that in this type of
Hallelujah.
heat with my
Hallelujah.
allergies. My allergies just won't
Hallelujah.
allow
Hallelujah.
me to
Hallelujah.
my allergies won't allow me to, I can't breathe.
Oh, we don't want that to happen.
It's,
I want you around for just a little bit longer. Just a little bit.
a little bit, okay. You funny. Oh, it makes
Ah.
me think how hot it's really gonna get.
Well, they say this is not even the hottest day. Tomorrow's supposed to be the hottest day tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the
Oh,
kids to
they did say because I think this is the south side of the wall, so you have to close all the windows and put the blinds up.
okay,
They say
tomorrow.
to keep the heat out because if you leave the windows open,
Okay.
you actually let the heat in, which makes the house even hotter.
Oh, make the house even
So
hotter.
close all the blinds, close the windows, and then that's for anybody actually listening in the UK.
Right.
You close your blinds, you close your windows,
Mhm.
and put your fan on.
Oh, for the
And
shade.
right for the shade, especially around midday.
Mhm.
Like at nighttime, you leave them open early in the morning, but when it gets around 11 o'clock, close it
Yeah,
all
that's
up
the
because
hottest
that's
part
when
of
it
the
gets the hottest, and you actually be
mhm.
letting the heat into the house,
Right.
which will make it even hotter. So yeah, that's they've been talking. I've been actually watched the news a little bit today, and they talked
Is
about
it
that.
hot in the girls' room right now?
No, it's not as hot as I thought it would be.
Oh, I thought we should
Mm,
leave the door open so they can get some airflow up in there.
I didn't think of that, but it wasn't. No, they seem to be okay.
You know, we got 2 fans going in there. That's why I'm like,
This
you
house
know,
still get hot though.
yeah, especially upstairs.
Yeah,
I
because the
moved
heat.
them right up out of them. Like, y'all come and sleep on these couches in the living room.
Mm,
If I'm serious, if it's that hot, Imma move them out of their room
okay.
and bring them down in the living room because this heat is I wouldn't suspect for them to sleep comfortably in that type of heat.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm, that won't work. Ugh,
So how you doing?
I'm doing
My name is
okay.
Pedro, and you are.
Oh, I'm Tara.
This the God is Real and
Raw
Raw
podcast.
podcast.
Oh, right.
My goodness, you didn't even get to do the
Oh,
intro.
okay. Let's do it again.
No, I did already.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing it again. Then who we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
So
Yes,
how was your
yes.
week?
My week was good. My week
Mm,
was good. Really fast.
yeah, I'm excited
I'm not
because
looking forward to tomorrow with driving in the heat.
I bet you're not. But I'm excited because my baby birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my Kaya birthday tomorrow. She been counting down on her calendar, and my baby gonna be 8 years old. So I'm excited about that. Um,
I can't believe it convinced her to have a big party at the end of the month and not tomorrow.
well, you what she want to do at the end of the month? She want to do the jumping thing. You know, the jumping.
Hmm.
So I think that'd be good for Johanny and all of us to go and jump on a trampoline thing because she loved that. She
As
can.
long as it's not hot.
So I think
Oh. And
I
I'm
think
not going to the beach. 'Cause you saw how packed the beach is?
who finna go to a beach? I
Man,
ain't finna go to
listen.
no beach and deal with all of that sand
I
and
want to go
stuff.
to the beach. I actually want to go to the beach, as
Okay.
you see behind us. But
Mm,
at the same
that's the
token,
only beach we finna get. Don't play no games. Oh,
ah, what's
oh
up,
my goodness.
Aubrey?
What's up, Aubrey? How you doing?
How you
How
doing?
you doing today? Happy Sunday to you. Oh, how is the weather out there in Alabama? It's hot over there.
I'll be hot,
Listen,
boiling hot.
boiling hot over there in Alabama. Man, listen. The UK, they ain't used to stuff like this. My eyes bothering me, everything. I forgot to bring me some water down here.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
Whose fault is that?
He said he good and it's hot. Mm, please drink plenty of water. I need me some Gatorade and everything. My electrolytes is leaving me.
What? Yeah, you in all this heat, you talking about you feel chilly, so whatever.
I was just going through a moment,
Oh, whatever.
but I feel fine now.
Yeah, right. You're going through a
Whatever.
moment my behind, whatever.
Stay
Moment.
cool out there, Aubrey.
Mhm.
Shoot. Drink plenty of water.
Did they?
Yeah, they said
Okay.
well, I sent them a message a second. But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem, no problem.
yeah, but I'm looking forward to this today's topic, and
Mental
we'll be
health?
talking about mental health. We
Yeah,
all
yeah.
need to really see about ourselves and other people that are close to us. Mental health is a big deal, and a lot of people in denial. A lot of people. Um,
Evening, evening,
Good evening, everyone that's coming in.
evening,
How y'all
Frederica.
doing? And mental health is serious, and sometimes do some people even know that they have mental issues or they dealing with some mental issues? What you think, Pedro? You think some people
He said send it through Messenger.
okay, let me see, can I do it that way? Here. But mental health is a big deal and I sometimes think I deal with mental issues. Do you, Pedro? You do?
We all have
We all have our
when you say it like that, don't say it like that, but when you
not mental issues in the sense of in a bad way, but I'm saying dealing with
what
issues.
time mental health is all about we'll talk about it when we get them on, but mental health is all about
Hold on, because it's
feeling
over.
depressed, feeling
Okay.
anxious, feeling anxiety,
Yeah.
all those different things that that
I'm
we all
sorry,
suffer
guys.
through and we go through.
Keep talking, Pedro, because I didn't realize I had to go through all of these type of different things.
So when you do all that, you know, yeah, you go through different things and you affects you in ways that you wouldn't expect it to affect you, and then you think, you know, why do I feel this way? So yeah, it's not really, dealing that, you have mental history. Are you trying to say you're crazy? Because I say you're crazy all
No,
the
that's
time.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know what?
Are you finally admitting it?
Mm-mm. No, I'm not. Okay, I had to go and sign in and do that. So, okay, yeah. But yeah, Billy Cook. Hi, Billy Cook. How are you? Hi there.
Hello, Billy.
So happy to have you with us. We haven't seen you before. Thank you for joining us on our live today. And the ones that's coming in, our topic today, we're going to be covering a couple of things on mental health and how important for us to deal with those issues that we all may have and or know someone that are experiencing those mental issues. It's important that we stay on top of those type of things. You know, our children, our family members, our close friends. You know, mental health is a big deal. And even though they have awareness month and all of those things, I believe mental health is all year round that we have to really stay on top of. What would you say, babe?
Yeah, mental health is definitely um a year round, year life thing
Mhm.
because you always at any moment could, suffer from a breakdown. I mean, everybody handles everything differently, from stress to um, life to things
Mhm.
happening in life to death.
Yeah,
And when you can't handle it, it can cause you to have a mental breakdown.
it
When you
can.
have that mental breakdown, it only who knows what how it can affect you.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely, mental health is something that we always, and it's always good to just keep watch over people that may have an, may not handle certain things as well as you may handle it. We all
Yeah,
handle things differently.
we do. We do.
Like I handle things a whole lot more better
Calm.
than how you would.
Right. You know, one thing I love is that you able to calm me down. You get what I'm saying? And especially when I'm all in my
Feelings.
my feelings and my mood
Mhm.
and everything. But it's good to have that person that can talk to you and you can vent. I think it's important for us to have someone we can talk to and trust, and with someone that we confide in. That's also a part of mental health as well. Is just talking to someone and not to be afraid to talk about the things that you're suffering with, and those trusted people. Um, Pray about those things, and God will send you that person. How you deal with someone with dementia, Billy wanted to say.
We're gonna get into that in a minute. We're waiting for our guest to come on. Um, we're just having a little issue getting them on.
Hi, Billy. We
If you
do.
could just
We
give
are
us a
going to
minute.
answer your question as soon as possible. We
Yeah,
have our
definitely.
guest that we coming on. That's coming on with us. I sounded real southern it for a moment,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we have our guest that's also going to be talking about those topics, which are here now. So just hang in there with us, Billy, and we will
Get to that top. We will
get
get
to
to that
that topic because
question.
that's a good
Yes.
question. How
Yeah.
do we
Yes.
deal with someone dementia? Dementia is a big deal as well. People lose their memory, forget who their family members are, forget different things they have done in their life. That's trying to get them to remember certain things. So yeah, that's a big deal, Billy. So hang in with us, and we're gonna answer your question. Maybe the first question we answer since you asked it. We don't want to go past that. So I think our guest is ready to come on.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna bring them on.
Mr. Osei Daniels and Tone.
Hi guys.
Hold on.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So they just need a few more minutes and then they'll pop in. Um Aubrey, what did you say here? You said in John 14:1, a part is talk about not to let your heart be troubled. It's simply saying don't stress. Wow, that's true. So a lot of people, if you read your Bibles, if you are believers, you go into John 14:1, which he gave the scripture for. You can go read that. The Bible is there also to help us with these things. Because there's people in the Bible days that they were stressed too.
Yeah, the problem with that is that I'm I'm not saying that it's not possible. Anything's possible through God, but
Hmm.
as it's just a simple. The devil can sometimes can get you really. You can not stress, and then all of a sudden you not even realize you're stressing.
Right.
Because like for me, stress, I may not think I'm stressing,
Hmm.
but then if I'm not sleeping well, I'm
Right.
stressing.
Yeah.
If I'm not eating properly, I'm
Hmm.
stressing,
Hmm.
and I don't even realize that I'm stressing.
Right.
You have to learn your triggers and your points.
Definitely.
When you are stressing, even though you may not feel like you're stressing, but you could be,
Right.
and you're not even understanding why you're not sleeping well or why you're not eating
Hmm.
or why you just feel down and
Yeah.
you don't understand why you feel down.
Hmm.
So I mean, yes, it's letting out your heart be trouble, and meaning don't stress.
And don't lean
But I
on your
think
own understanding.
as humans,
Hmm.
we naturally stress.
Yeah, we do.
We naturally stress.
We
That's
do.
where prayer comes in.
Mhm.
Prayer and meditation,
Mhm.
and even then we still stress.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's such a mental health is such a broad and generalized like topic
Right.
because there's so many different ways you can go.
Mhm.
But like I said, it's just yeah, but just believe, yes.
Definitely.
So
I
I
agree with
mean,
that.
I try not to stress, but and Tara will tell you, I don't really stress because she be stressing. She be like, but what about? I'm like, Tara, it will work itself out.
Mhm.
But every now and then, I still do stress myself.
Yeah, but we have to learn how to let go and let God. And I think when you allow God to um handle those things,
Yeah,
okay, they ready now to come on. So we're going to
yeah,
bring our guests on now with us. But as I was saying, we have to let God lead us and help us with those things that we can't do ourselves.
that's true. I mean, I definitely mean that. Yeah.
Hey guys,
What's up? What's up? We're good now.
how y'all
All
doing
right,
today?
cool.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. We just jumped right in, but we were just waiting on you guys. But
Are you guys using your headphones today, or are you hitting through
Yeah,
the?
we got everything locked and
Can you
loaded.
hear us clearly?
Yeah, it's not that. I'm just getting feedback when I talk.
Oh,
Are you getting
Feedback?
feedback?
it's because of this.
no, it's just probably
That's
hearing it
weird.
through them.
Hmm. You're getting feedback still?
No, not when you talk.
Oh,
When
when
I
I
talk,
talk.
Oh,
that's
when
fine.
you talk.
Yeah,
Wait, because we could probably hear.
I'm
I can
hearing
hear
your,
myself through
I'm
some
hearing
of
your
you guys'
speakers.
device.
Oh, they're hearing us through here. This is
Yeah.
different.
Right.
What did we do? Oh, last time we had the AirPods. That's it. That's what we're missing. We're missing
No,
the
but hold on.
AirPod in the ear for this.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl, it's been a
Is it is
minute.
is that better?
We forgot.
I know.
No,
It's still the
it's
feedback.
a feedback because they're
The
hearing
feedback is not
themselves
bad.
and
It's
us
just that
hearing
we can hear
him.
ourselves.
We need AirPods or something in one of our
I'm
ears.
sorry.
Okay, Siri, hush. Siri
She
always talking to me when I don't
probably
need
gonna go
her.
find y'all AirPods.
Okay.
You gonna go find
Yeah,
them?
I'm gonna go find
Okay. But listen, while he oh well I guess I can't talk while he's
it. You
doing
can
that.
talk.
Well they're gonna
Yeah.
keep getting feedback. So put us backstage again and then or
Okay.
I'll just be quiet. I'll be quiet.
Okay. Okay. We could put y'all backstage again, and then we'll bring you guys back in. Okay. So
Sorry about that. One last little
little
snippet. It's been
hiccup.
a minute since we've been on with them.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy summer. Summertime's always hard to get everything together.
Well, people traveling, people
Yeah,
doing things,
travel
you trying to fit
things.
everything
We had
in.
Father's
You
Day.
have so
Then we
much going
had a
on.
funeral.
Mhm.
Then we had something. I think we was in London
Mhm.
one time. Yeah, so we've
I
been.
wanted to
Yeah.
mention I had read this article of this young remember I was telling you about this young fella that he was Adventist, but not that it makes a difference, but I was just more saying he was a Christian guy and he left home and he went to school and everything, left home and got a better job. I think he was living in LA and he ended up getting a job. Had been working from home since the pandemic. And so he was already an introvert um by nature. But to sum it all up, he ended up passing in his home. Hadn't he? Nobody had heard from him from 5 days. And then what made me really think about that article is I think I have it on my Facebook page. If you friends with me, you can go and check it out and read it. But it really touched me because a lot of people live alone and is alone, and imagine dying by yourself. He died in his sleep from a heart condition that he didn't know he had. That because it was I can't remember the name of the heart condition, but it don't give you any symptoms. You like he didn't know he was sick.
Mhm.
So imagine being sick and not knowing that you're
But
sick.
he didn't know he was sick.
That's what I said, not
Right.
knowing, and he died in his sleep,
Right. But
which is
I'm gonna
I feel it's a
sound
good way to go
no,
in
it's a
your
good one
sleep.
because in your I think I've been told before if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. I want to go in my sleep.
Yeah,
I don't feel no pain.
I just I guess I just felt for his parents because his parents didn't get a chance to say goodbye. His parents
Well,
didn't.
nobody did,
Well, nobody
unfortunately.
did, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
because
I'm just
nobody
saying,
knew.
yeah.
It's just one of those stories of,
Oh,
that
you ready? Okay,
is
they ready.
sad that
Okay.
this happened.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's just sad that this happened.
Yeah. So let's pray for that family
Yes,
and people that's
we'll pray
alone
in a
that live
minute.
alone. I'm saying about later. I was just letting people know that.
Okay.
But yeah. But anyway, bringing these guys back in.
That's mine.
Well,
You're
stop
such
it.
a bleeding heart.
I am a bleeding heart. Leave me
Can
alone.
y'all hear us?
Yes.
We can hear you guys.
Oh boy. It's a day today.
I know, right?
So he has his beats, but for some reason they're not connected. I'm sorry. I put my fingers up too
You couldn't
quickly.
hear them.
So I know. I don't know. I was just excited because you were back. And then I didn't even
Oh,
think
okay.
about that it wasn't working. So hold on. God
Okay.
forgive us.
These headphones. I think these headphones.
Why
are
don't you
messing
try
up.
these?
Oh,
No
I'm
problem.
sorry, guys.
No, you're
He's
fine.
gonna connect mine really quick, and hopefully this will be really quick. And let me unhook it from. I'm so sorry,
just turn
guys.
your. Okay, connect.
No,
Yeah, I
girl,
think
you're
you
fine.
apologize.
Oh,
All
it
right.
worked. Okay, hold on. Boom, bam. We there? Are we there?
Can you hear us now?
Are we there? I don't know.
Hang on.
I'm just.
What about now? But you hear it?
Hoping it will work.
I hear you still, but can you hear us? No, I don't think they can hear us.
We can hear
Yeah.
you, but we're hearing you through the computer. We're waiting for it to.
Oh, to connect to your TV.
Yeah, hold on. Push the button.
Okay.
I heard her.
You
Oh,
heard us?
say
Yep,
something.
we
Yes.
can
That's
hear.
better.
Okay.
Oh
There we
my
go.
goodness.
See, I'm old because the song that I hear in my
Did
head.
it.
Do you remember this? Dun 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 dun
I
dun.
I know
remember
that
that
song.
jam. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
You know the song.
Yes, yes, yes,
La da
yes.
dee da dee da. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I'm showing how old I am because I'm sure that song
Oh,
is like 25, 30 years old, maybe.
oh, oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Uh,
We're all up there in age.
uh,
All
She's
right.
only young. Well, no,
anyway,
you're
I'm
old too.
Uh oh, here he go. He started already.
he a hater. He a
Goodness.
hater, sis. He a hater.
You married to me, so whatever.
Goodness. How y'all
Uh,
doing?
we're
We're
doing
doing good.
good. How you guys? We haven't
We
seen you
real
guys.
black. 423. How y'all doing? Like you haven't been waiting.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we're good.
terrible.
We're good.
All of
Terrible.
We're happy to finally
CPT.
be connected to you all again.
Oh my
It
Yeah,
seems
goodness.
like
man.
it's
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
month.
It's been a
It has
minute.
been.
But you know what? It's
Yeah.
so
I
much that
heard you
happens
saying
in
what was
that.
going on. We had a funeral too. Did y'all have a
Oh
funeral? Or were
yeah.
you talking about
I
ours?
was actually
We was talking
looking.
about yours.
We was talking
Oh
about
yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I was talking
Yeah.
about yours. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I know that would have been hard to do the show that weekend.
Yeah.
So we was
It was
talking about
awful.
yours.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah. With the young
Hmm.
man,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was hard.
more. I mean, not.
And then
I
and
hate
then
to
she
sound.
had to sing.
Oh
Yeah,
right,
she
I
had
Sing.
to
did had to
sing.
sing.
She
It's
was
so
singing.
so much was going on,
Oh, she actually
and
Yeah.
sang on Father's Day. I didn't even have my Father's Day. You know that, guys?
oh my goodness,
I
even
didn't
Whoa.
even have
Why
my
he
Father's.
wait? See, why he wait till you on camera
he
to do
always
this?
I
do that.
already did
He
that to
always
Promise
her.
you.
I
do that.
already did that
He
to
always
her.
Ah.
do that to me.
Yeah. But see, Pedro, I know the good thing is that you could Father's Day. You could have that anytime. You can make. You're not.
Exactly.
It's not
Okay,
tied into the day.
see,
No,
see
no,
there.
no, no.
Yeah.
But I'll say,
They ain't
honestly,
gonna
she
do
know I'm just
nothing.
teasing her because she know I'm like that. She
Yeah.
know I'm like that. I don't believe in the. I like the days, but I don't be. I'm not gonna be like, oh,
Thanks, Billy.
we gotta,
You finally got it fixed.
yeah.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah.
I was just answering one of the people in
If they
Thanks,
can hear
Benny.
us. Yeah.
Billy.
Now we want to make
Billy
sure
had a
we're
Benny
good.
question
Billy.
for us. Yeah, Billy
Billy,
Cook,
yeah, Billy Cook,
Mr. Cook. He's
yeah,
hanging in
yeah.
there.
Good.
Well,
Hmm.
actually, before we start, we just want to say a quick word of prayer, and
Yeah,
then
Please.
we'll
yeah, we
get
can go
into it.
in. Okay,
All right.
go ahead, baby.
Dear God, we ask as we start this podcast that you will allow us to talk through you, and all the answers that we give will help somebody out listening today. We thank you for your love and your grace and bringing us to another weekend safe. And as we go into this week, be with us in everything we do. For this, I pray in your holy name. Amen.
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 Hmm. So,
So yeah,
guys,
we're gonna jump right kind of into it because we
Let's
didn't
jump.
expect. He asked the question. He wanted to know how do you deal with
well, hold
someone
on.
with.
Let me put the question up.
Oh,
Maybe
they
they'll
can
be able
see it.
to see it.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah, we can see that. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so you just want to go right into dementia. Okay, yeah, let's do it. So dementia. Let me back up. So I would call myself a mental health therapist in training. My husband gets mad that I say that because I do not have my license physically in my hand. I have a supervisor, and I just always liked. There are a lot of people out here fronting,
Yeah,
and I just don't. I
yeah,
don't like it.
yeah.
My supervisor's Doctor
Well,
Dr. John Thomas
Mm-hmm.
here
hmm.
in Maryland. He is
Right.
amazing. He's awesome. He's really great with boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always promote men who do therapy for men and boys. Now
Right.
let's get back and let's get into it. So, good meeting
Okay.
you, Billy. How do you
Hmm.
deal with someone with dementia? Well, there's two things with dementia. There is the person that has the dementia, and then you as the caretaker. I know this
Right.
is like, oh, wait, why are you going there? Just hear me out for a second. One, I would question, has your family member, I'm assuming this is a family member or a friend, have they actually been diagnosed with dementia? We
Hmm.
think things are dementia that are not dementia.
Right.
Sometimes someone older has some type of vitamin deficiency.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can have a medication change
Right.
that, some of these medications, let's say it's trying
Side
to
effects.
think, there was something your dad was taking,
Mm-hmm.
it can
Hmm.
affect their memory.
It's very powerful
Right.
medicines out
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Medications.
And so the difference, so first you want to make sure that whomever the person is, that they have been clinically diagnosed with
Right.
dementia. So Billy, if you can do me a favor, if you can say, my family member has been clinically diagnosed and I am their caretaker. Are you their caretaker, Billy?
He
Yep.
did put yes.
Okay. Okay.
He did
Okay.
put yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So then here's another thing. My my family actually took care of somebody with dementia. So here's the first thing I would say. I have my computer up, and let me just make sure I'm giving him the right book.
Right.
Yes, it came. It literally came up. Like Google is weird. They know. Literally, you put a word in, and then you put another word in. And they're like, "I know what you want."
They
Yep.
Scary.
listening to us.
They
They listening
listening.
to
That's
us.
why.
Oh
That's
my goodness! There
doing
is this
we could do it
book.
on that.
I have a
Yeah,
question. Do
that's
you
good.
guys have the ability to put up a third screen of your Google or something like that? Like if
Yeah,
you have something up,
yeah, share
if I
screen.
tell you to look up something, can you put it up for him so he can see it?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
she can post
So
it.
it's called the 36-hour day.
Okay.
Billy, this is a book that my family used, and the reason why it's very useful is because a lot of people are just winging it when it comes to dementia. This book talks about how your day as a caretaker does not end when the person goes to sleep. It's like you're prepping for the next day. It's really like kind of like you're dealing with a newborn baby or a toddler. And so the best thing, several things is one, get that book, the 36-hour day. Okay. My mother used it personally when she was taking care of my grandmother. It helped her understand the ebbs and flows that your family member is going through. There's something called, hold on. Now this, I have to tell you this, that this is not my strong suit. I was not expecting this word. I mean, this one to come up, but hold on. There is
Right.
something, hold on, let me look it up.
Tell him what you're looking at.
Hold on. I'm going to tell him in a second. So there are a couple of things that people who are going through dementia go through. Some can be physical. Is your family member, if you want to say yes, if you feel comfortable or not, are they more of the aggressive person with dementia? Are they the more quiet person with dementia? Are they, do you see them? It's called sundowning. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, so there's this thing called sundowning that happens mostly in the evening with people with dementia. I'm gonna wait for him to answer. Since we're doing live, I'm just gonna wait for him.
Yeah.
So Billy, can you tell us? Are they aggressive? Are they fighting you? Are they compliant? My grandmother was a compliant person with Alzheimer's and dementia. Let's see what he says. And do y'all want to talk about something else while I wait for
Definitely.
him?
Yeah.
We was.
Have you ever worked with someone with the future? Would you be in the healthcare?
I have.
Have you ever worked with dementia patients?
Yes, I have.
Really? What was your experience with them?
Interesting. Um.
Tell me more.
Um. Patience. You have to have patience because some they my experience they were not always aggressive. They were aggressive if they knew that they didn't understand why, like they couldn't understand why they forgot something. So they're trying to remember something
Mm-hmm.
Are they
and they
frustrated
can't
with
remember it.
themselves?
So it makes them frustrated. So they become a little is like you have to have thick skin and be patient because they're not really lashing out at you. They're more upset with themselves. If that makes sense. So once
Yeah.
I realized that, understood that, I knew that they wasn't mad at me. So they'll be like yelling at me, but they're really yelling at themselves, which was kind of, which was very heartfelt and sad because you're like, okay, let's, calm down and let's try it. And you can't even say let's think about it because the more they think, the more they forget.
Right.
It looks like Billy responded.
Yeah,
What did he say? Two, and then what did he say before the two?
He
okay.
said okay, but then he got a 2 and a question mark. Oh, he said
Okay.
Oh, quiet and rebellious.
quiet.
Quiet and rebellious. Okay. So one thing I know he didn't ask for this, but let's deal with this part. Alzheimer's and dementia, right? People think they're synonymous. Alzheimer is the brain disease, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
That is a symptom of dementia.
Right.
Dementia is it's several things, but it's a collaboration of symptoms that affect a declining. You'll see a declining memory, reasoning, and thinking skills. Right. So it'll show itself. Alzheimer's will show itself with forgetfulness and misplacement of things,
Right.
right? And then you take your family member to the doctor, and the doctor can actually, through an MRI and through other things, can figure out, okay, what is actually happening. But dementia it is a combination. It is hallucinations. It's planning difficulty. It's decision making difficulty. It's anxiety, depression. It's disregarding manners. Like they don't. A person who was usually very proper is like, I want what I want now. Like you're seeing things that you've never
Character shift,
seen. Their
yeah.
character has changed. Yeah. So, Billy, here's a question. You might not know this. Oh, what? Okay, maybe you're saying yes, it is. You might not know this, but okay. So let me give you a story. Okay, so when my grandfather was in the nursing home, what I seem to find is either your body declines when you get older and your mind is sharp, or your mind declines and your body is sharp, right? A lot of times. So my grandfather, his mind was sharp, but his body was like not there, right? So his brain was always going. The people that were and so he was only there honestly because he could not walk for himself. He could not really physically take care of himself, and he was so much bigger than my grandmother. She couldn't do it herself, right?
Right.
So that's why we had to put him in a nursing home. But he was in a nursing home with other people, and one of the people, I can't remember his name. I wouldn't say his name, but let's call him Mr. Reynolds, right? And Mr. Reynolds, he would grab my hand every time. It was a little startling the first time, but he would grab my hand every time you come in, no matter who you are, and guide you. And I asked the nurse, I said, why is he doing this? And I was young, but I don't know, maybe there was a therapist in me then. I was just inquisitive. I was like, why? Okay, he's leading me. I'm just going to let him. What's
Right.
happening? And so she said he was a security guard majority of his younger career.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Huh? Okay. Let me give you another story. I don't know, my husband gonna like this one. There was another man that was sick, and he was there. His mind was declining, but his body was declining too.
Oh,
And so when I walked by him, okay, Christian people, forgive me what I'm about to say. I know it's a hodgepodge that listen to this, but if a certain woman comes by, he would say, "Hey ho," right? Then another one, I promise you. Okay. Then I would come by, he would say, "Hey, how you doing, sweet thing?" And then he would talk to me. Come to find out, he was a pimp majority of his life in New York. I can't make this up.
wow. Wow.
Okay. I can't make this up.
Oh, my
And so he told me about his times as a pimp, and I was 18, and I was just taking it in. I was like, what? And he was telling me about him and the women,
Oh,
and
wow.
my mom was like, and my mother to this day was like, oh Lord, don't talk about that man.
Oh, wow. But that's amazing.
And so I say this jokingly, Billy, because sometimes we don't know what our family member was like in their heyday.
Yeah.
Yes, that is some of the things that you have to deal with. So if you have a family member that was so docile, but now all of a sudden why they cussing so much? Why they cursing me out so much? Why are they so hostile? Why are they so? Because that reasoning skill is gone now, right?
Right.
And so right now they're just acting on raw emotion, where our logic center now is able to stop those things. We're like, that's not socially correct. Stop
Right.
that,
Hmm.
So how do you deal with it? One, the 36-hour day, you got to read the book. Two,
Right. Hmm.
Billy, you're not going to probably like the things that I have to say. There's no magical pill that's going to help this. It's going to be things that you can put in your day that will help you. Okay. So one will be finding out and talking to your doctor. Say, this is the schedule that they seem to like. A lot of times with people with dementia, if you keep them on a schedule,
They do
it
better. Yeah.
helps. But
Yeah,
if
that
it's when you change your schedule, all goes crazy, right? Don't
mhm.
expect them to understand we have a schedule of let's put it this way. When my grandmother had a doctor's appointment coming up, my mother would tell her a week ahead if she could, and then we'd have a calendar up, and then every day we put it a part of her calendar. And I even saw this in one of my accounting clients. He was going through dementia.
Right,
um every time I would see him, and this is, I wasn't even a therapist then, so I would say, let's look at our calendar for the month. I'm going
right,
to see you on this day.
right.
I'm going to see you on this day. Then
Mhm.
I had to make myself patient to just be okay with the questions, with
Right,
the rehearsal of the same thing. Good, you do that. Great, Billy. So have a big calendar. Remember, a lot of people who are going through dementia, a lot of us have lost our sight. So maybe get a bigger calendar, like a bigger print, calendar. So count bigger print calendar. Um, if they can write still, have them write it. If they can't, because that goes as well, the function of writing, then don't make them, because that's going to make them frustrated, right?
right,
When
right.
a person who has dementia is not able to do the things that they used to do,
Mhm.
it can frustrate you. So don't make them, if they're not able to write, don't make them write. Sorry.
Right, right, no problem.
Here, babe. Take a sip,
I'm
baby.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, girl, sometimes
I
that
feel
happened
like
to
I'm
me.
still getting over COVID.
Girl,
Um, and so let's see what else. Um,
get your drink in.
but for you, Billy, really the issue is you taking care of you, you being kind to you. You need support. So
Yeah.
this is when you, and there is a routine with my wife. Good, good.
Yeah.
Here is when you also you don't do this alone.
Right,
So now I'm glad that you shared that it is your wife. You need a therapist for yourself
right,
to help you navigate the changes that you are experiencing as your family member, as your wife is declining. That's a lot.
it
That's a
is,
lot, Billy. You have to be kind to yourself.
definitely.
And it is so easy as a caretaker. And that's why I really want you to get the book. I want you to really take care of it. If you say you can't afford the book, I will get the book for you. I will get it from my mama. My mama feels so strongly about this book, she'll probably buy it for you. So, because she gives it to every single person that she
Right,
knows that's dealing with somebody that has dementia.
mhm.
I didn't share it. Can you share it?
Yeah, we can make
Oh,
sure
the
you get
book?
it. But
No, no,
yeah,
no.
she
No,
just
I'm talking
posted.
about
She
share
found it on
post. No,
Facebook.
share this conversation on our thing. I didn't share it. So
Okay.
yeah, if you can get the book, get a therapist. Do you have a therapist? Okay, I think he said I have that. Here's another thing that might be helpful.
It's his mother.
It's
Her mother. I'm assuming he
It's
meant
her
Oh, it's
her.
her
mother.
mother.
Yeah, it's her mother.
oh,
Oh,
it's
Yeah,
okay.
his
that's
wife's mother. Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
He's saying there's a routine with my wife. Yeah, I think he means his wife and him have a routine.
Yeah, they have a routine with the mother.
Okay.
I
Mother.
think that's
Right,
what they
right,
what he's
right.
saying, yes.
Yeah.
See, now it's like you see how working with people is like an onion. First they
Mm,
say
Peeling off.
we got a family member with dementia.
yeah, peel off the
This is
lid.
just what therapy is like. We got a family member with dementia. Like, okay.
Right.
And
Mhm.
then it's like, it's a family member. Okay.
Right, right, right.
Then
Hey, take a break.
it's my mama. Oh, okay. It's mother-in-law. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
he said
so
no.
now my now what I'm gonna say to him is gonna change. Wait a minute, is he saying no? What's he saying no about?
I
I'm not
think
sure.
I
We're
think
trying to.
he's saying no. But Billy, is you saying that is your wife, right?
Is it your wife going through dementia? Is your wife's
Mother.
mother
His
or
mother.
your mother? Who's mama?
He just said
Yes, so
yes.
I think it is his wife.
Maybe you don't want to share.
No,
It's
but
his
it
wife.
looks like he wants to share. And then
Okay.
at any time, Billy, you don't want to share, say no. I don't want to share.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Okay.
don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You don't
definitely
have to
don't have
share.
to.
But we
Nah,
appreciate you being so open because you
Yeah.
might be helping somebody right now, right?
yes,
Definitely,
definitely.
definitely. The
We
transparency is
definitely learn
everything.
when
Thank
That's
you
somebody.
so
right.
much for that, Mr. Cook.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Billy, ahead of time. You're very, very, and any man, black, white, purple, that's
Right.
even in a conversation of mental health, I think it's great.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Billy, um, now that you shared that you're married, I'm going to change it a little. So, I think you and your wife together should. This is not therapy, by the
I
way,
know. But
Yeah.
but I think that you and your wife together should consider reading the book together. It'll be really supportive because here's the deal. Okay,
Wife.
if it's your wife's mother, more than likely she might probably be doing a lot of the physical things with her mother more, right?
Right. Mhm. Mhm.
She might be doing a lot of the burden, like the heavy lifting with the mother.
Mhm.
He's trying to figure out how he can support.
Right.
Let's say your wife's like, I ain't got time to be reading this book, right? So
Mhm.
find out, I don't know, I say look for me if it's on Audible. Because if it's on Audible and she has no time, then she could at least listen,
Oh,
right?
right. Listen to it.
And
Yeah.
the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I'm kind of thinking about dynamics of relationships, right?
that knowledge helps too.
Majority of the time, whomever the person is that it's their family member, they're usually doing the heavy lifting. And I don't
Right.
want her to feel like, oh, now you trying to fix me, right? I don't know what the situation is. So
Right.
your wife will feel supported. She may not even be listening with him, right?
Right.
So that his wife feels supported, he can say, I was talking to a group about mental health, and I mentioned that we are here supporting mom, and this is what they shared, and
Mhm.
I am willing to support us and lead us in this effort. Did you catch that? Versus, here's a book you should read. Don't do that.
Right. Mhm.
Because having a person that you're taking care of can put a lot of strain on the marriage. I say kind of. We could have really gone through that if mom's time of being here and being sick kept going on.
Right. But
It would
but
have go ahead.
yeah.
Just talk about maybe the strain that she didn't have dementia, but she was ill, and dad has dementia.
Right. Yeah. So my dad is going through that now, and my sister is down in Atlanta taking care of him and my other sister. Um, and so it's a lot. He's more on the milder side for sure, and he's very compliant, very willing to do what he's asked. But you could just see the frustration. My dad is one of the smartest guys men I've ever met.
Brilliant.
Can talk about any topic, any subject, well versed, very knowledgeable, and just to see him not be able to engage and have these conversations, I could just read it on his face and his demeanor, and so it's very difficult to even as a couple to try to do this, even as a family to try to do this alone. You need to
Right.
put, like Anthony said, you got to invest in support because if you shut down, then your family member is without you, and then that is a trickle down effect. So you got to make sure, like Anthony said, that knowledge is power. When you can read a book like the 36-hour day, it is on Audible,
Oh, good. Thank you,
so you can
honey.
listen to it as well. And it looks like there are three. Yeah,
Yeah, I looked it up too. I was gonna say.
yeah. So you're and I'm big time on this, and I'm glad we're having this topic about mental health, etc. But we need to really um, acknowledge that we are human beings, and sometimes we shift and we want to be human doings to our detriment. So we got to really be kind, especially when we're in the caretaking field. And so you might be caretaking for this family member, but you also may be a teacher, doctor, nurse, um, therapist, counselor, pastor, ministry leader. That is anyone in that caretaking position. It's very taxing mentally and emotionally to be in that space. So you have to make sure you take time out for you and pull in new resources, new additional people to help spread the work out spread the challenges and the appointments and the all these other things out.
But
So
like he said, let's be real. He just said that he has family members, but they don't come around.
yeah, and that's disappointing. But that's another reason why it's important that you pull in maybe some professional resources. And there's a lot of groups for, resources there that are local that can help, even if it's just 1 day a week, 2 days a week. That will help spread the work out. Um, yeah,
Is Billy in the UK or the US? Do you guys know?
Don't know. I have a feeling it's the U.S.
Okay,
I
because
actually that I, I
was
we
it
didn't get
through
that far yet.
Medicaid or Medicare? Medicare, I think we learned that. So I have a girlfriend that is in HR for group homes, and I've learned a lot through her that essentially a lot of the services that we need for our elderly are already available. We just don't know that they're available. So if he calls, if you find out that your family member is on Medicare, if you call Medicare and you tell them that we are the people who are her caretakers and we need assistance, just go through that process. The process might feel long. I will find out from her. And it's sad that you have to work so hard to find information. Good Lord. But I'm going to ask Erica, Billy, if you're in the US. I don't know about anything in the UK. I don't know nothing. But if you are in the US, there are ways for you to get assistance that is already through the Medicare system. Like you don't have to pay extra money. That is the most important thing. Another thing, I want you to look up a support group because I'm sure in your space, in your area, just like they have groups, support groups for people who are dealing with an addict. Al-Anon is the thing that you can go to if your family member has a drug addiction or alcohol addiction. I'm sure there's something out there as a support group for caregivers.
yeah,
So, and the importance of that is to know that you're not alone. I know you'd be like, well, that's really not helping me. Yeah, support groups actually do help because they'll help you realize that you're not alone. And here's the other thing about support groups, especially if it's local, they might know about
they
resources.
should have the resources,
Yeah.
especially for your
That
local
would definitely help
community right
too.
there.
So those are the three things: the book, you be, if whoever is the person who's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, the other person be the person to look for resources, right? So if your wife is doing majority of the heavy lifting with mom, I need you to be the person to do the resources. And here's another thing: might it be that we need to treat our parents declining kind of like a child? Like when you're a parent with children, y'all meet together and plan, okay, what's this week looking like, right? And so if you guys get together and have like your plan, just put in your schedule, just even if it's 15 minutes. How we doing? How's mama doing? What can we do better? The lady
Check in.
talked about, yeah, check in. How you feel about that? I say a check
No,
in.
I think it's good. I don't know. Uh, I'm hoping we're not overwhelming Billy with
Ah,
Okay,
He said we
okay.
have.
So mom knows. So mom, it sounds like wife is already in the space
okay.
of dealing with this. She's a CNA. Okay. Do y'all
All
know
right.
what the BHAM means?
Birmingham.
Birmingham, baby.
Birmingham.
Oh,
Birmingham,
Not
Birmingham.
is it Alabama
Birmingham.
or
Bingham.
Birmingham?
Oh,
Where
I
Not
I'm
got
from.
Bingham.
family down there.
Oh,
I
you
got
know I
family down there.
USA
I
Okay,
don't
because
know any.
he said his wife is a
What is it?
CNA.
DNA. So yeah, it's
Is
Oh,
Alabama.
y'all
yes.
in Birmingham and okay, okay. So definitely, then definitely, I need you guys to look for a support group. And I'm gonna say something, Billy. If you're a black man, I'm gonna be really real, especially when you're in Birmingham. You ready for this? Be okay.
Hmm.
That when you find that support group, they don't look like you,
Yeah,
but they're gonna be supportive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Can I just be can we be can we have a talk? Can we have a talk
Real
in
and raw,
here?
baby.
Real
Real
and
and
raw.
raw.
Real and raw.
Real and raw.
Because some of the
Yeah.
folk who will probably change their schedule Might I add, come and sit with mama so y'all can go somewhere for a date. Might not look like you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be okay with receiving help in a way that we
Yeah.
didn't expect.
Yeah. No, it's important.
Yeah.
Again, I hope, Billy, I hope we're not overwhelming you.
Yeah.
And you were the topic for tonight. But I'm glad Anthony dropped so much knowledge and understanding,
Yeah.
and background, because dementia is a form of mental health issue,
Definitely.
that a lot of families uh, will eventually have to face with their older parents and aunties and etc. So it's especially that book. Getting knowledge is power. It equips you. You feel like the punches that are coming, the confusion, the frustration. When you know it's coming, it's different from being blindsided and say, "Oh, we didn't know this was happening. We didn't know they would respond this way. We didn't know that they would have this reaction." So knowing that ahead of time changes the game, and so that
Yeah.
you
Yes.
can come in equipped. It's just like with boxing. You don't get punched out by the punch you see coming. You get knocked out by the one you don't see coming. That's why
Right.
knowledge is extremely, extremely important.
Okay.
Yes.
But I
Definitely.
hope that this was helpful, Billy.
I hope it
Um,
was.
yeah, and yeah, put your. Can y'all put my information in the? I mean, he's a Birmingham. I'm gonna bother my cousins. They are
He
not in
where I'm from.
healthcare, but she might know somebody that's in healthcare. So, can
Okay.
you can you DM my Tony Daniels? Like, so look for me on
Our
Facebook
Facebook
as
Messenger.
Tony Dane. Okay, I'm still
She's gonna
working
put stuff
on
in there.
creating my mental health stuff, like my presence, but look for Tony Dane. But here, Billy, really important. I need you and wifey. I hate that word. Why did I use that word? I can't stand that word. You and your wife. I can't
Yeah.
stand that other word. So, and she gets around real good. Oh, can deal for herself, but won't do. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, so okay, okay. So she gets around well. Gr- Mama might like y'all taking care of her, right? And what y'all need, and I'm smiling because I see my mama doing that. Like when that happens, I see her be like, "Oh, well, I just like it when you do it for me," right? So, what I think that you guys need to work on potentially is setting boundaries. Lovingly, meaning that you and your wife have time just for you. That every waking moment cannot be for work, for work. If y'all have children, for the children, for mama. But when does Billy and wife have a time that's not about anybody else but y'all? So even if it's just quarterly, I need y'all to go to a therapist, a marriage coach or a therapist. I need y'all to do it. Okay. Yeah,
We
so
put
look
your
for that name on Facebook. Look for Tony Dane. My real name is Anthony Daniels. I do that so people can just like find me all the time.
Right, right.
But DM me, okay? You can't just friend me. It won't let you. So
Right.
DM me, and then I'll see what my family says. Okay?
and if you
And
can't
it's
get through
nice
with
meeting you.
that, you can always email us on the bottom where it has our email, and we
Right.
can get in.
Mhm.
We can get in
Mhm.
touch.
Billy, I will definitely talk with you on there on the messenger. I might not friend you, and it's not personal. That's boundary setting.
Hmm.
Right.
A lot of times we don't have boundaries, and it's okay to have boundaries.
And
And
it's
Definitely.
so
Definitely.
and how about that's a good segue, I think, to talk about, because let's not all deal with dementia. Um, Mental health. What is mental health? Mental health is a function of three areas: the cognitive, our cognitive, so meaning our thoughts, um, our cognitive well being, our social well being, our emotional well being. Okay.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so when people are like, well, they have a mental health issue, it's, well, what segment? is being
It's
affected,
affecting one of those
Right.
three when it's talking about mental health.
or all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
one more than one thing can be true.
And mental
Yeah.
health is really what we're saying is, now this might be the part that some people won't like. Really, it's saying this person socially is not acting like we're expecting.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You catch what I'm saying? It's not. I don't even like the word normal. It's not normal. What you're really saying is they're not. They are not meeting our social standard
Right.
of behavior.
Mhm.
Because think about it. If all kids were hyperactive,
Mhm.
then why would we say ADHD?
Yeah.
That's why I actually have a problem with the labeling.
Yeah, these labels.
Yeah, I hate labeling.
Somebody might
I
struggle
hate
in
it
this
to the
area or
core.
struggle with that area, but when you label them, it's like it closes them off to growth, and they're always walking around with this label everywhere they go.
Yes.
And I work in the school system,
There
so
you
as they
go.
progress, they have it in their file, and every time that
Mhm.
student comes up, oh, okay, well, it's because they kind of get. I mean, it's human nature, and we need to be
Mhm.
more professional. I think overall, the professionals do this, but when they kind of put them in a box and assume that they can't move past this. They can't grow past this area. They're always going to
Right.
struggle with this. That's where
Mhm.
I think that's where a lot of the stigma comes from mental health is because once you get labeled, it's like a mark of shame, and
Right.
you're always gonna have this. And I'll even speak to they folks might not like this, you know. As far as the AA groups and every how some of them where you introduce yourself as, hey, I'm so and so and I'm an alcoholic. I don't, again with the labels. I don't love that. I think it's
Right.
important the words that we use. My mentor says all the time that our words create worlds.
I know who
So
that is. He's
with mental
awesome.
health,
Wow.
if we
Wow.
don't correct our language, then
Definitely.
not only will the stigma, okay, I'm persona non grata, I am I'm gonna instantly be isolated and and labeled and judged and looked at negatively because I
Mhm.
say I struggle with this or that. Struggling with
Right.
something as opposed to I am this, you know,
Mhm.
it's a significant difference because when you say you're struggling, I even like to say I'm fighting anxiety because anxiety is something I'm fighting with personally right now.
And the
Right.
reason,
So
oh,
that's
I'm
why
sorry. Yeah, go, go,
I
go,
think
go.
it's important that we have to slow down and not when we do need to diagnose things correctly so that we know
Definitely.
where to fight.
And
Mhm.
you know what I say? I actually finally agree with you. And you want to know why? Think about it. I am an alcoholic is the only one, and this is a AA. And I get it. I
And
get why
AA
they
is
do it.
powerful and it's
I get
helpful.
why they do it. But remember, it's a support group. But think
Right.
about it. They say, I am an alcoholic. I am a drug addict for NA, right? Do you hear
Right.
anybody saying I'm a bipolar?
No.
Do you hear anybody saying I'm a depression?
No.
No.
Do you hear anybody saying I'm a
Mental issues. I have mental issues problem
I think
person.
it's
I'm a mental I am a mental issue. Like there's something about speaking to your being,
Yes.
and so I speak
Affirmation.
I finally agree with all that. And actually my supervisor, he has a fundamental problem with that as well. That,
Mm.
because it puts people in this space of, will I forever deal with this? That's like saying you are forever addicted porn addicted. And
Right.
you are not anymore, And so,
Okay.
uh, yeah, I think there's something interesting to that. But if we were to go to someone and say, um, yeah, okay, I just got stuck on it. And I thought that was pretty awesome that you
Yeah.
said that. But
Yeah.
As far I mean, defining mental health, we broke it down into three
it's in
categories.
three areas. But here's the
It can
thing that
overlap.
it can overlap. But here's the thing that I wanted to share. Please don't go on Google and try to diagnose yourself. Um,
I'm bad
It's
at that.
tempting. It's
I
tempting.
tell
oh no.
Google
I
is
mean,
the
we
the
can find our way
enemy.
through it. Yeah, but
Don't do
it's
that.
important that you
Enemy.
sit down
Do
with the
not go on Google.
professional. Yeah,
Don't do
because
that.
you might not you don't have the experience and the whole scope of what that
Lord.
instant Google search pops up to the top, and just
Yeah.
because it pops up to the top doesn't mean it all applies to you.
You will give yourself obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm a hoarder. I am a. Oh no.
I'm awful when it comes to that. Oh my goodness. I gotta
No,
do
but
better.
I feel like the Lord dropped that. Oh,
He
I
did.
wasn't planning to say that. It just was like,
Just for
you
me.
need to say this.
Yeah, you
Yes.
need to say it. She definitely. Oh
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
You know how many
Don't do
legends I
that.
off of because she's been on Google. And I don't mean to
Don't
say it
do
like
that.
that, but you know how many times I had
Google will think
to
you
out.
have 3 months to live.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. Then you mess around and go. I mean, there's websites that talk about a death clock, and I mean, this you can
Oh
dive
my
deep
goodness,
and you
that's
lose yourself.
awful.
Why did you
Th-
tell her that? Now she gonna go
no,
look for it.
Oh, I promise you.
but we're talking about. See, I think even from the faith background and from societal cultural norms, these things are so stigmatized is because we focus on human doing. It
Mhm.
really,
Hmm.
when you really unpack everything, because nobody says like I'm working. I have. I'm working to recover from tendonitis in my knee, my left knee, my right heel. So
Right.
I go to physical therapy every Thursday, and my my PT, my physical therapist says, it's
Right.
easy to, step off a curb and roll your ankle, but it
Mhm.
takes longer to build that back up, to build that strength, to heal it, to let the swelling go down, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's
So
Definitely.
the
important.
rehab takes longer. Is that what
The
he's saying?
rehab does
The
sometimes
rehabilitation,
things
yes.
can happen, and we, as far as mental health, our mental health can be impacted by one event, either growing up, and we might not even be cognitively aware of it, but
Right.
subconsciously it is real as it happened yesterday.
Yeah,
Right.
emotionally, there could be a connection with a smell. It could be a
It's
connection
deep.
with a sound,
Mhm.
music
Yeah.
that you're
Mhm.
not even aware of, or an event, or a place. You can go to a place and then you are instantly shifted back to a, you may not remember exactly what happened, but you will remember how you felt.
Right.
And so the reason that we mention this is that, but you can't go home and then go on Google and then say, oh, I experienced this.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So
Yeah.
let's talk about how to find a therapist,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Why, or why, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about really quick, what are the different people in my life for my mental health that can make life better? And I hope Billy is still listening.
Oh, he.
Who are the people in my life? What's their purpose? Because what we're doing, and I think really in churchdom, we have exhausted our pastors during the
Yes.
Oh,
pandemic.
oh yeah.
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 I think
Oh
some
wow.
I think some pastors kicked the deuce because they were like, I've been doing this a long time. Like, I think the pandemic made it real how long
Yeah.
they've been doing this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
my computer just died on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And so I think the reason why I wanted to talk about this, and I can't get to them now, I can't get
Get
to
to
what I
what?
need. I need my computer to work. I need you to turn this on. It just it just died.
Here, use this thing.
I need you to pull up that PowerPoint that I did at that church. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So what I think people need to know is there are different people in our lives for our mental health. Okay,
Right.
was that DM Tony Dane, ToniDane. Look me up on Facebook and DM me. Yep. So you've got your therapist, right? You've got a psychiatrist, a
Right.
psychologist.
You got to break
Mhm.
those down.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, that's why I need that thing. So your therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, and pastor. Okay, I feel like I'm
Mhm.
forgetting one. Social worker.
Right.
Okay, so these are all the people and coach. Six.
Mhm.
These are all the people that are in some dynamic helping us. If you can just get power plug, yeah, helping us with our with our well being. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
if you go to one for the wrong thing, you'll be upset with the outcome because
Right.
you went to them for the wrong thing.
Mhm.
Case in point, let's imagine that Billy did not go to the doctor but went to his pastor because he was having problems with his mother-in-law and dementia.
Right.
And let's imagine that he had a pastor that had a problem saying no. He has no boundaries. Some of them do.
Right.
They love on their people. Come on, pastors. They're shepherds. They want all of their flock to be healed and happy and whole, right?
Right.
But in
Mhm.
our want and desire for healing and happiness and wholeness, we are trying to do too much
Yeah.
and not refer out, right?
Mhm.
So, who does Billy and actually Billy, I hope you're okay with this. I'm going to use your family, okay? For this conversation, okay?
Right.
So, who he needs to go to is he needs to go to a doctor. And then
Right.
the doctor needs to refer them to a psychiatrist
Right.
because the difference between a psychiatrist and a therapist is because they are a medical doctor. Now, depending upon what state you're in the U.S., I don't know about for the U.K., but in D.C., a psychologist is actually an MD. They have the credentials to actually give medicine. Okay. And a
Right.
lot of states don't have that, but in DC they can. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
Um, and let's see what else. So we're gonna go to the doctor for things that we need that type of assistance in. Okay.
Right.
You go to the therapist. Hold on. And I have this PowerPoint that I put together. And anytime a church or a community asks me to come in and speak about mental health, I
Mhm.
talk about this and I call it a beautiful space. And the
Okay.
reason why I call it a beautiful space is because due to like the pandemic, we have stress, we have loss, but we also have people have found opportunities and change. And the pandemic has just shown the areas that we are great at and the
Right.
areas that we are losing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's a life cycle, right? In support and care. And that's really what Billy was talking about, the life cycle of support. Like I'm in this cycle of my life that I need
Yep.
support.
Season. Yep.
Am
Right.
I
Yep.
going to the right person in this season, right? And we just have to know which one for whatever cycle that we're in.
Right.
So I'm pulling up as I'm talking to you. So I didn't talk about this. Psychologist, like what's the difference between a psychiatrist and psychologist? Do you guys know?
What's the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist?
Mm-hmm.
A psychiatrist is the one that's you're gonna talk to about your issues, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No, it's
Mm-mm.
psychologist.
Not a lot of them.
Oh. A psychologist deal with your mind.
Yeah, technically.
Mhm.
So let me tell you those. That's why I asked because a lot of people don't know, right?
Oh, let's hear.
So a psychologist, they typically held a doctorate, okay? But they're more so, not all of them. Okay, some of them give therapy, but a lot of them are heavy in research.
Oh.
Now, I met a psychologist actually when I did a presentation like this. She says, "I'm actually a psychologist." And I said, "Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry." I said, "I'm sorry for what I said." And she said, "No, you're right." Right? And so their manner, they typically use 1 to 2 modalities, and modalities I mean meaning modes of treatment, right? That
Right.
are definitely scientifically backed, meaning it's backed with research and it has been proven to be evidence based, meaning there has been enough science out there to say when you do this, when you help this person push this button, you're going to get this type of response every
Right.
85% or more of the time, right? That's
Mhm.
what happens when you see a psychologist, right? And and a lot of the work that they do are, it deals with, a lot of them deal with cognitive behavioral therapy. That is a type of modality of helping people, and it's the function is that you have a thought, and this thought brings on a feeling, and that feeling brings on an action. We want to deal with changing the thought so that we can change the action.
Action, yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's CBT, right?
Okay. Right.
And then they do stuff with EMDR. I don't want to get into that. And so, but their manner of talk therapy sometimes can be considered, depending upon your personality, the person
Right.
going to see the psychologist, they may come off as stoic.
Oh,
Their mannerism may be more distant.
right.
They may be sitting with a notepad and a paper in front of them
Mhm.
and writing a lot, and very, how are you feeling today? And writing down the feeling and then going to the next test and the next test. Do you see what I mean?
Right. Mhm.
Not all psychologists. I don't want to get DMs like, I don't do that. Listen, not all psychologists, okay? But
Right.
where they're great at, let me tell you where they're great. Brain trauma.
Mm.
Okay, so if you have a family member that, let's say they didn't have their seatbelt on and they went through the window, you want a psychologist to see them along with the doctor. Why? Because they are trained in the brain and how the
Okay.
brain changes, and what changes should be seen with somebody who's had a brain injury. That's where
Right.
they're great. They're great
Okay.
in their research, right?
Right.
So we don't want to discount them. They are amazing. The psychiatrists, the difference, they are great in medicine, pharmacology. They
Okay.
know, if I give you this medicine for your depression, I need you to stay on it for X amount of time, or you're going to have suicidality. When the doctor tells you, okay, you really want to deal with this depression, I'm gonna give you this medicine, but I need you to stay on it. They really mean it. Because the unfortunate part is, a lot of these medicines will deal with the
They will
thought,
address it. Yeah.
but it's gonna give you some other issues.
Side
That's
effects.
Yeah. Okay. Other
and
side
so the
That's why you
effects.
gotta
question is,
go back and forth with the doctor to make sure you're being honest with them about
Right.
your results and how you're feeling and
right,
what the results are, so that they can adjust it, increase it, decrease it, change
Uh,
it, etc.
and
Very
Right.
important.
that's why you see the psychiatrist to get the medicine. You see the
Okay.
therapist to go along with the medicine. That's the
Got you.
talk therapy.
Got
Okay.
you.
Got it. So think of as, I am hurt. I'm hurt. My brain is hurt. I'm coming to the hospital. I'm
Mhm.
bleeding. The doctor patches up the bleed, right?
Mhm.
I see the psychiatrist, now, I am having some issues with my cognition.
Mhm.
The doctor, whatever, they go through a lot of tests. The psychiatrists go through a lot of tests. The psychologist helps them along with those tests on my brain. I'm just trying to give an example of the differences,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then I get a medicine. But then I go to the therapist and I say, how are you feeling? Because why? This is a adjustment disorder. You're not able to, you're unable to do your daily life. There's a dysfunction in life. Now I need to talk to someone how to carry on now, right?
Right. Mhm.
So talk therapy, depending upon where we are in our healing, it can be getting me out of a situation. Like, if I'm having a suicidal thoughts, I'm seeing a therapist to get me out of the emergency, right?
Mhm.
Or I could be seeing a therapist or a coach for rehab.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you catch what
that's
I'm
where
saying?
pastoral
Right.
counseling and life coaching
Life
comes in.
coaching and all that.
After you come out of the hospital.
After you come out of the hot spot, after you come out of the space, you are functional. You're trying
Okay.
to become better at function.
Yep.
Mental health therapy is about disease, dysfunction. We are trying to bring function to the space of thought, to the space of emotional health, and to social health.
Okay.
See, doesn't that make it seem a little more simpler? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, I get
Definitely.
it now. I
Yep.
am socially I am not functioning in a way that it makes me feel or those around me feel like this like this is my base. I'm trying to stay away from that word normal
Okay.
because I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm
And got,
saying?
got
Normal, especially now, is
It changes.
it's
It's fluid.
perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Yeah.
the normal that I see now was not normal when I was 19 in 1980 when I was young. You know,
Right.
like normal changes. So don't use that word.
Right. Right.
So we talked about psychologists. Y'all are like y'all know it now. Somebody said, oh, they need a psychologist. I'm like, oh, do you need someone to do you need some tests done? Like
Right.
they're like, oh, oh, I need a psychiatrist. Oh, you need what medicine are you on? You catch
Oh,
it? You're
yeah.
an expert now,
Got
girl. And it's
got it.
like, oh, I need a therapist. Oh, okay. You're coming out of something. You're trying to bring function to
Right.
something, right? I need a coach. Oh, you're functional. You're trying to be better. Ah,
Yeah. Right.
got it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And here comes the pastor. Boom. All right. So think about what we just did with the pandemic. We went to our pastors for the bleed.
Everything.
Yep.
We went to them.
Everything you could every struggle landed on the pastor's desk.
He ain't
Right.
treat me right. We don't have food. That's a social worker.
You would
Yep.
think that everybody knows, and we've been culturally indoctrinated. The pastor's supposed to check every single box that I could possibly have that's going on in my family, in my home.
Wow.
When in actuality, this is not the one. I can't find it. But what was that word that I came up with? Your pastor, they are the. This is the example I gave it. Your house is on fire,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Who do you call? Who comes?
The fire department.
Right. When the fire is out, do they stay?
nope.
Why does your pastor?
Exactly.
Mm.
Why do we expect the pastor to stay after the fire's out? The fire is gone. Why?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so our pastors are, and I cannot find it,
I'll
but
think about it.
there is. When we find it next week, I'm gonna have the word. There's a beautiful word I came up for our pastors.
Mm-hmm.
But the element of it is they are the community kind of like organizer. They are our hub. They are who we.
Conduit, the kind of
No, it was a word. It was a beautiful word. I can't find it now. The pastor is who we come to when we recognize there's a problem. They may not solve the problem,
Yeah.
but they guide us to God and a physical resource.
Mm.
That's what they do.
they can pray.
They
which is
can-
prayer. We believe in prayer. Prayer.
Yep,
We
prayer.
are not minimizing prayer. on
No.
pastors. That is the last thing we're doing. But I think it's wise for the long-term health, mental health of the pastor and the church.
Right.
He knows or she knows that they can pray and like Anthony said, give them a direction, give them a phone number, put them in contact with the specific resource that can help, you know, you know, deal with the fire damage in the house now that the fire is out.
Right.
You know, that to me is it's extremely important. But we've been looking at our pastors as if they are not only supposed to I'll go back to the hospital example. They're not only supposed to heal the disease, they're not only supposed to patch up the stitches, but now they help you with your physical therapy for strengthening your limbs and your body and your muscles so that you can go back and operate in a normal, in a in how you were before you got into the accident or you had the disease or etc. So they're
Right.
expecting the one-stop shop in the church, but that's not where the pastor is most effective.
I found it.
Go ahead.
Right. Oh,
This
you
is
got-
what I put for our pastors in the life care in this whole beautiful space, the life cycle care and support role. These are the things that I have for our pastors. And I'll actually send this to you guys
okay.
so you can post it, right?
Okay.
Pastors, they're trained in theological and spiritual beliefs. They are shepherds. They teach and equip the faith of the member, right?
Okay. Okay.
They organize leaders of the church.
Mhm.
They're officiants of major life events such as weddings, funerals, discipleship, and
Baby
life
dedications.
transitions,
Yeah.
baby dedications, death, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
They're primary support for the community. And this is what I call them. At times, they are the first responder for the community. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
And what
Right.
does a first responder do? First responder may not solve your problem. They
Right.
will comfort you in the space, but they will lead you to the real support. They're going to hold you until the support comes, right?
Right.
When you're
Mhm.
fire, there's a first responder that in some like when Katrina happened, there were
Yeah.
first responders. They
Get the
didn't
people to safety.
get them,
Right.
yeah, get you to a space of safety, but
Yeah. Comfort. Yeah.
they're not the ones that they might put a band-aid on,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But they're not the ones saying, okay, now why are you bleeding? They're not the ones that say why you're bleeding,
Mhm.
right? And I think in order for this beautiful space to really work, all of us in our spaces need to know where we are great and where we need to pass the person on.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
we go wrong as therapists is when we are in spaces that a person needs to see a psychologist. And actually, I need to say, okay, I need you to go to my friend that's a psychologist and have them test you so I
Right.
can make sure that my diagnosis is accurate and what I'm about to do with you works, along with maybe there's some modalities that just a psychologist will work with you on. I want you to
Right.
work with them, and then I want you to work them with me, and then I want you to see your psychiatrist and get that medicine.
Right.
Right? Did you
Right.
see how we did that?
Wow.
And then I want you to go to church and I want you to talk to your pastor about how all this is working. And then they're going to pray that you stay on your meds and you stay on the
You believe in the treatment that God is using that person
all these
with
people.
the gifts
Right.
that they have, that they
Right.
will minister to you the most effective way, and
Mhm.
you'll be open and receptive to the treatment and the healing that you're receiving, and that
Right.
you'll continue in this lane. That's what the pastor is supposed to keep them where they're getting the most help.
They're like the
Wow.
project manager of healing. How about that? Come on.
That's good. That's good.
Project
Write that
manager
down.
of healing.
Don't
There you
write
go.
that
Yes.
down.
Got a new one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the project
And
manager. Have you seen your therapist? Have you seen your social worker? You know?
Yeah, because the pastor is supposed to be the shepherd. Is supposed to make sure that they stay safe. And
Right.
if they're not safe, we get them to a place of safety. But then once the emergency is over, okay, well, you need to get the contractor to come and take a look at the house. You need to get the plumber to come and redo the plumbing. You need to let the electrician to run new wire. In the case of when the fire comes and hits the house, so the pastor can't do all that, or else they will be burnt out.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. It won't take long either. It'll
Yeah.
take 2 months of trying to serve a whole church. You're one person trying to serve a church of 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000. Yeah, let's see how long that goes.
I think it's silly
Right.
for even, let's say, even if you're a pastor that nobody with any real hard issues that need to see like somebody for medicine or come up to you. Okay, fine, but why are you dealing with all these marriages by yourself? Are you trained in this? How many marriage? This is my question to any pastor. Past experience. How many marriage training courses have you gone to? What modalities are you using in helping this marriage sustain? Where is the science that backs this method? And I'm really serious about this because I've seen and I've experienced bad marriage advice from a pastor.
You said it.
And I
right.
know
Really.
people, I have friends that have gotten bad marriage advice. And so I think it's great to do
Premarital
I think
counseling,
pastors are great for the premarital advice
with training.
Yes.
with training. I also think they're really good with people who have lost a spouse
Right.
and helping you first navigate the loss of a spouse. But then I wouldn't even keep that person if I was a pastor. I would then later
Transition them.
transition to a person. Let's say it could be another pastor. I'm a highlight one. Novella Smith. She's not just a pastor, but she's certified in grief therapy. Like all
Really
I'm
going, yeah.
saying is, if you're gonna see people on certain things, I'm gonna need you to, even if it's not expected of you, to beef up on courses.
Right.
What's the methodology out there right now that people are using
Your
that's
continuing
being
education.
helpful?
Yeah.
Right.
Just like
Yeah.
teachers and professors
Don't they expect y'all as
and
teachers
Pedro,
to
just like with you working in the medical field, you can't just get certified in one thing and be done. You got to go
forever?
get every two whatever years, come back
Yeah.
again and get
To be
certified because
refreshed.
there's new things,
Right.
there's new techniques, there's
Right.
new procedures. So it's that the
Yeah,
principle
I'm
applies
actually.
everywhere, but we don't hold that for pastors, and I think the pandemic exposed the
And maybe they
reality.
do. Maybe they do. Maybe
Ma-
we just
Well,
don't
it's
know.
now it's shifting. Now
Maybe.
it's starting to shift,
Yeah.
and because
Yeah.
the issues are starting to become more prevalent.
Like
Yeah.
Ase and I, one thing that Ase and I do every year is, well, as of last year, when I was getting closer to becoming certified, I mean
Right.
licensed,
Mhm.
is we go to the AACC conference. It is the American Association of Christian Counselors.
Okay.
We go to the conference this year. It'll be in Texas. I love it.
Yeah, it's refreshing, but then
It's
you're
not people that
humbled.
look like me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they love Jesus
Yep.
and they love people and they love science. Like that's the great part when you can put ministry and therapy
and research. Yeah,
and coaches and all this in this like
it's
nice
beautiful.
little,
It's
it's a
beautiful.
beautiful space. That's
Yeah.
why I call it a
And
beautiful
that's to me what
space.
that's what the gospel
Wow.
should be about
Yeah.
because we can move the needle for a community as
Mm.
opposed to um, you know I know for are we just the one that are clogging up the intersection on a Saturday morning? Oh, here they go again.
Yeah.
What impact that so I can get into that, but I do want to get back to some of these questions that you had for us, and the one that jumped
Oh
out to me
yeah.
was what causes mental health problems um, earlier or later in life. This is important because I think and I just Anthony is the she does what happens in the hospital. My
Right.
goal is to help people once they come out is to take that healing and restoration and now go to the next level in their life. I think so many times we as Christians, we in the faith community we're from, you might not be
Right.
Christians who listen to this, but
Right.
we fall into the trap of living our Christian life the same multiple times.
Back up. I
Wow.
want to just correct one thing. I think any person of any faith can do the same thing because I think Muslims are doing the same thing.
Fair,
I think,
fair enough.
yeah, Hindus are
Anybody,
doing the same thing.
yeah,
So I think people of a
we do,
faith,
yeah,
I
Of a
would
faith.
condemn people of a religion. I
Of a
think that
religion.
part,
religious background, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's extremely um, unhealthy for us to think that we can live the same life multiple years in a row and think that um, we're doing okay. I think it's it's the principle of life is going up the down escalator. You got to really put effort into the direction you want to go in as opposed to being comfortable where you are, because if you're comfortable where you are, the escalator will just bring you down and you got to all of a sudden you got to climb back up. But I think it's a
Right.
growth principle that Jesus tried to break down. But where what causes mental health is biological factors. These see what we minimize the biological factors of the brain. And what
Right.
Anthony was talking about, somebody might be in a car accident. Somebody, the genes that you have from family
Right.
can cause mental health issues. And
Mm.
then life experiences, trauma, abuse. These are things that happen. And what happens is, if it happens earlier in life and it goes unaddressed, guess what? It doesn't disappear. Spiritual issues and traumatic mental health issues don't just disappear or expire.
Correct.
They stay. Our
Wow.
brains are too powerful to uh, just have them dismissed because 20 years has gone by. They are
Right.
there. They are real. But what our
They
body
might be
does,
held in a. Yeah, go ahead. Go, go,
no,
go.
but what our body does, God, this is how much God loves us, is that He built into us a way for these deep, traumatic, emotionally painful, and negative experiences that we've had. The body has the brain has a way of pushing it to the back, even though it doesn't disappear. It pushes it to the back so that we can function and kind of live. But eventually, those things come to the front. And what a lot of people don't realize is that what we call what the world calls a real midlife crisis is that
Mm-hmm.
those unresolved mental issues of trauma and abuse, etc., are no longer capable by the brain to be held back, and they all of a sudden flood to the forefront. And now because it's a the brain is a muscle, and the
Right.
muscle of the brain that's holding these issues at bay eventually gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and the brain is no longer able to keep those things back, and they come to the forefront. That's why we know it as the midlife crisis,
Right.
but it's the brain's inability to no longer keep down at bay those mental health issues that we should have gotten dealt with 20 years ago, but now they're
Right.
back.
It can also be an emotional crisis of identity. You'll see men go through midlife crisis. Yeah, there's actual a specific diagnosis midlife crisis, and a majority it's seen in men. And not saying that we don't go through it, but you'll see it more so with men. 85% of the time it's with men.
What's the specific age?
when is the age?
I was
How's
just
it when
asking.
is
It can. I know you're gonna ask me that. I gotta check my book, but if I'm remembering
Oh,
correctly, it can start as early as 35 and can
uh,
go to about 54, if I'm correct. Yeah, I can, but I can look it up. Yeah, but it can
I'm
start as
going through
early
a
as
midlife
35.
crisis because I'm 48.
You can. I mean,
It's important that we are aware that it might, it's
Yeah,
again
I know. I'm making a joke of it, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's
it's a. You
important.
know what it is? What
because
for
we'll
men,
start reacting and doing things that we don't know why we're doing it. That's
right?
the danger.
oh,
And that's where I
Right.
think it's really
yes.
important where spaces like dedicated man, winning defined, the
Winning
winning
circle,
oh yeah, sorry,
winning
winning
circle.
circle. I was getting there, but I'm just thinking about different men's groups,
Yeah, no, the
right?
dedicated man is
So
still
yeah,
active.
it's still active. Winning circle, it's important because I think that groups like that can help men as they're going through change. You know, I
Mhm.
think women. Not saying, see, this is the terrible part. We think that we're so strong, but I think what the difference is we train our girls
Mhm.
better to have support in their life as a perpetual thing versus men. Men are trained, I don't think we mean it, to stand up, show up, be strong, don't cry. And if you're
Right.
telling someone be strong, stand up, don't cry, why would they even have start a support system young? I
Yeah.
think that women are better at finding support, not all, but
Some.
in if we're
The
looking at the
big
genders
percentage,
and
yeah.
big percentages, women
Right.
are better at finding supports. And so when we are going through a crisis, we have a girl, we have somebody that girl,
Yeah.
this is, oh my goodness, we got
Right.
somebody to hold, there's another woman somewhere to be like, I'm coming, where are we?
Right. Right.
What did he do? I got the bat, I'm coming, right? Like and so
Yeah.
and so, you know, I just think we do better with it. But midlife crisis is a crisis of looking at your life and questioning sometimes, how did I get here? What happened? What happened to my dreams? What happened to my blah blah blah? And that's why I think coaching is great.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Midlife most of the time is somebody who's functioning.
Right.
Yes.
They're
Right.
not
We're
in
going to work. We're
dysfunction.
paying our bills, but we're stagnant. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Go
can
see
see
your
that.
And again,
coach.
that I cannot overemphasize. If we continue, life is. I use that analogy, and it resonates with me, and I'm hoping it will with everybody who hears this. Life is like going up the down escalator.
Going up the down
You have to
escalator.
really put in work to get to that to be able to identify, because you can be successful in one phase of your life but not be like, I could think about NBA players or sports athletes. They can be great at their field. Like I'm thinking about Allen Iverson, and he was one
Right.
of the best ballers that I've ever seen. But now
Mhm.
he's retired. What happens?
Or Shaq
Right.
couldn't do free throws, but I'm sorry. Let
Yeah,
that
I
go.
mean, yeah. See, but Shaq, it's like once you shift, because the older we get, we can't run up and down a ball field, a
Right.
Yeah.
basketball court. Those days are over.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what can we do? Does our identity attach itself only to what I'm able to do physically on a ball field, on a ball court? Because once
Right.
I stop, am I a loser? Am I a nobody now? That's
Right.
the challenge that
Mm.
coaching will help identify the gifts. That's why I'm so big on spiritual gifts.
Right.
Yeah.
Because spiritual gifts exist whether or not you're on a field, whether you are not you're in front of a stage or on a stage, any of that. You can step off the stage and still be as spiritually gifted as you were at any time in your life. That's why
Right.
I believe that our identity, to me personally, this is what I'm going to be coaching and doing my counseling on, is helping people not only identify the gift, but to build and enhance that gift so that we find a solution to the problem that we are built to solve. And that to me is mental health. That to me is faith. That to me is where our spiritual walk should be pointing towards, as opposed to sitting around waiting for Jesus to come.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
to me is detrimental, because the enemy loves stagnant. The enemy can
Oh,
work
definitely.
and attack people that are stagnant easier, as opposed to those who are striving by faith to become
Yes.
the best version of themselves in this season of life and preparing for the next season of life.
Babe,
Mm.
can I just say, I think that what you just said is so profound
Yeah,
because
definitely.
in mental health therapy, they talk about life stages. And I think this is where I think where a Christian counselor really could help somebody.
Right.
There it talks about I'm not gonna say the name because then somebody gonna Google it and then mess themselves up. So I'm just gonna give you the the bones of it, right? That there's a theory that talks about that when we're in different spaces of our life, that we go through certain things, right? But I think what would be really cool is if at least if we were by the age of 13, there's like it talks about different identity crises that we go through at
Right.
different stages. But if somebody at 11, 12, 13 years old learn their spiritual gift, learn
Oh
their
man.
tendency, like of how they learn, like we learn how we learn. Like am I an auditory learner, a haptic learner? Like if there's this whole thing of coaching that our kid goes to, they learn how they understand how they learn. They understand their being, like I'm a sanguine, so I like people and it's okay. I'm a butterfly. I come in here and it's like, bam, I'm here. It was dead in here, but I'm here, right? Okay, clearly I'm a sanguine, right? So okay.
Yeah.
So, right. And then, or I am a choleric. I come in the room and it's disorder and I bring order to all of it. Like
Right.
if I find out my temperament, right? Then I find out my, what's that other thing, that other book?
Tendency.
Tendency. I find out my tendency. I tend to be upholder, so you don't have to worry about me. I'm a uphold everybody, right? Or I'm a rebel. Oh, mercy! I'm a sanguine
Yeah.
and I'm a rebel. Hell, Lord help me, Jesus, right? So this is where I know where I need help in, right? Early enough, and then come to find out, then I learn my spiritual gift. Let me tell you
Mm.
why that's so good with the identity crisis. Because if you look at the different identity crises, if somebody learns this early enough, when they get to midlife and they start having a problem,
Mhm.
if the coach could just bring them back to their, well, let's talk about who you are as a person,
Right.
Yeah.
and let me edify you in the chain, in the decisions that you made. They weren't, because really midlife is like, what did I miss out on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you help a person as a coach, as a therapist, say, well, did you miss out or did you pivot?
Mm.
Because life brought you something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you wanted to be a race car driver, but you can't put a baby, you can't put the stroller back there. So let's talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
you pivoted. Okay, but what about being a race car driver is now coming back to your remembrance? Do you really want to get in that small thing? Can you fit in that anymore? Like, can you
Yeah.
fit in it. And
Wow.
so, okay, but what was it? What was it? The excitement?
Right.
Okay. Was it driving? Was it teaching? Okay, well, can you teach someone to drive? You're
Mm,
in you are race car adjacent. Do you catch what I'm saying? A good
Yep.
coach,
Yep.
a good therapist could help someone see,
And to realign them.
realign that, hey, this is who you are. This is why you made the decision that you made, and it
mhm,
wasn't bad.
Right.
mhm.
That's right. That's true.
It's huge.
So you actually answered one of the questions I was going to ask, which can your
What's
spiritual
up?
relationship help with
What'd you
mental?
say?
Oh
I said
yeah.
you answered
The
that
last. Yeah.
question. Can your spiritual relationship help with mental health? But you already got into that, and you made that very
Yeah.
clear. So
And
thank
Peter, let me jump on that because I think that when I hear when I think about mental health, it's in a she's on her way to becoming fully licensed, et cetera, et cetera. My job, my goal, and that's why I'm excited. Literally in my last class for my pastoral counseling degree, and
you. Oh,
my
Awesome,
cool.
focus is
guys.
going
I'm
to
so
be
proud
on.
of you both.
Yeah, no, it's big, and because so you talking about purpose and identity. I finally, and I can share my story later, but
Yeah,
I know what solution I'm here to solve. What problem I'm here to solve. I'm here
right.
to solve
Right.
the problem of helping people identify um, who they are, then what problem they're here to solve. I believe everybody that is alive, God trusted us to be alive right now after through this crazy pandemic to be the solution to a problem in today's world until he comes.
Yes. Yes.
This is my motto, my life's purpose motto, and to help people become spiritually healthy. And I believe spiritual health deals with how we view ourselves, how we view others, and how we view
Right.
God. And
Yes.
when we are spiritually burnt out is when we negatively look at others, we negatively look at ourselves, which ultimately is birthed out of when we have a negative view of God, where we can
Right.
no longer be a human being, but we have to shift into be a human doing. That is righteousness
Wow.
by works. See, it all becomes birthed out of what I term and get to the bottom of. Our spiritual health is waning when we
Yes.
shift to think that I have to do in order to make and to get close to God, that God be accepted by God, as opposed to being who he has made me to be and accepting his title for me and his identity for me. That is the
Mm,
shift because now I do
yes.
things out of love and appreciation for what he's done or who he's created to me to be, as opposed to doing it, as opposed to if I don't, then I'm going to catch hellfire.
And I
Mm,
contend that that's why our churches are empty,
yeah.
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 It's literally
because
spiritually healthy.
these Gen Zs are not for the do. What did the do? They tired of do. What they want is they want to hear, I am, you are, we are loved. I
Yes.
am, you, we are, I am, peace. I am walking like my mission I know in this life is I am to bring peace to and beauty to spaces that are dark.
Mm.
My purpose is to love sheep that have not been loved.
Hmm.
My purpose is to see people as a blank slate. I don't care how
Yes.
many tattoos you have. I might go get one
Again,
with
see,
you.
human doing.
I am not
Because we've done the
listen.
wrong thing, then
We
that
Yeah.
so
means I'm
stressed
isolated from God.
about
God
what
doesn't accept and love me. It's
could we
Oh, Lord.
please, if y'all don't get, and I'm talking about old folk, anybody that's listening over the age of 40, if
and that
y'all
just
don't
just
stop
because they're old don't mean they
focusing,
have to stick to this belief
I
system.
know,
But
but that's what I'm talking to them. If y'all want to lose your young people, continue to be focused on what is going on the outside.
yes,
Continue.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
promise you, they will go away. I
Yeah.
promise you, your relationship will wane because
yes,
Yeah,
these young folk.
I don't mean
Go
to cut
ahead,
you off, but that is so true because I recently
please.
just had to do that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? With my with one of my children, with one of my child. I'm old school. My head is that way. I admit it. I know I am.
I've been
But
there.
I had to realize that you know what? she likes to she likes to do this certain thing, and it's really not harming anybody, and she likes it not because she thinks she's pretty or thinks she likes it because she just likes to do it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna relent, and I'm gonna let certain things. I'm gonna let you wear certain things. I'm gonna let you wear a bracelet. I'm talking about my daughter, pretty much.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you wear a bracelet
A necklace, yeah.
and a necklace. I never
Don't
would have.
get her close to Auntie Tony because I wear them all.
No,
I
no,
wear
no. But
them.
I'm just saying, I was always of that of
Oh, I
knowing
used
I
to
of
understand. I
of
understand.
don't and but I could see by doing it, it was actually by me relenting a little bit on it
mhm.
and allowing it, she's gotten closer to me. And
Mm.
and it's
I definitely see a difference.
because she's like, okay, my daddy, my daddy's like,
Accepts
okay,
me.
yeah, like accepts me. So she's kind of like, okay. So I what you were just talking about is so true. Because I'm that old school head church person. Because I grew up in the church, and I would totally admit, I'm the old school.
He was totally
Oh,
against it at first, and I was like, I wasn't really against it because I grew up with jury and all that stuff. But for me, I had a different experience. But I know what my daughter was going through. She just like it.
What your
Right.
baby is trying to do, is she 13, 12, 11?
oh,
She just went 12.
just
Okay.
went well.
So she's trying to identify. She is
Yeah.
going through identification. This
Hmm.
is this is a regular
Yeah.
identity crisis time
Biology
frame.
101 for
She
her.
is trying to she is trying to assimilate and yet and still be a different
Individual.
identifier
Yeah.
individual within her peer group.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. There you
Oh,
go.
definitely.
And
There you
so
go.
the biggest thing for me, and just because I went to school for accounting and for art, you're like, where is she going with this? Somebody could walk around me naked and I think nothing of it. Why? Because I've drawn naked people for when I was in school, right? It ain't no big deal.
Right.
If you make jewelry a big deal, it will be a big deal.
Yes,
We
and
thought
I
we said
and I
that.
was doing that, and then I had to stop myself and say, like, smack myself literally and say, "What are you doing, Pedro?"
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
And
even further. If you make sex a big deal, it will be a big deal.
oh yeah,
If you
Yeah.
make conversations of sex no big deal, it will be no big deal.
Yeah.
oh
They
we,
will open up and they will tell you, "Yeah, such and such is doing things.
oh
They
we
doing da 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 da. This is
oh,
what they call it now, mama." Right? You be like, "Oh,
a
I
whole
don't
background
want
of
to
stuff. We
know."
talk about
Okay.
all of that. We talk about all of that with our children. We are firm believers of, like I tell people all the time, we're in the spiritual warfare of our children. It's not the time to hold
Yes,
back and
sir.
not tell them anything. The
Yes,
time is
sir.
now to tell them everything.
So that goes
Tell
to
them
go to
Them
the question.
prepared for
Right.
what's coming, because this stuff is a lot of stuff coming, and we need to make
Yeah.
sure that they're ready for it. Because if we're
because it's the pot calling. It's the pot. What is not the pot? It is the blind leading the blind out there.
yes,
Yes.
They
yes,
blind, y'all. They
So
like this,
yes,
like, ooh, such
yes.
did it. They did it. How they do it?
mhm.
I don't know, but this is how they did it. And y'all blind. Y'all leading each other blind.
So I'm
They
from
don't know
I'm telling them everything. We don't hold back when we come to our children.
So how do
because
we
they'll
start
be. Go ahead.
noticing? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Now we talking about that. How do we start
Yeah.
noticing like our children having mental, you know, breakdown, mental
Health
issues?
issue, mental health issues.
Yeah.
So let's not
I got a
look at
list of
it
stuff.
as our kids having mental health issues. Let's
Okay.
just say, how do I notice a change?
In
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So you got to know okay. So here's the deal. This is with marriage and with kids. You got to know your person baseline.
Mm.
So I know Osei's baseline. I
Right.
study him.
Mhm.
So I know when he is what do we call it? Not in the gutter. We call it I'm in the what do we call it, Os? When when one of us is
In a
not
funk?
I'm in the funk. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
and then I'll say, "You in a funk?" I don't say it, "Are you in a funk?" Like, "Oh, are you in a funk?" I'll kindly come up and say, "Hey babe, it's okay. I'm just asking. You in a funk?" Isn't that accepting? That's accepting. It's
Wow.
and I'll say, can I come be with you? Or he'll say, "Can I come be with you?" Because it happens either way. Same
Yeah.
with your kids. Same with your
That
kids.
happened to me the other day when she was in the kitchen and her sister had a thing and I wasn't understanding why she was all upset. And I was like, what happened? It took me a minute to get it out, but she finally came out with her eyes all red. Because her and her sister like this.
Hmm.
So
And
you got to know their baseline, right? So
yeah.
you know the baby that needs the hug. Some of them you don't even need to say nothing. You just need to hug them,
Yeah, just sit
right?
Yeah.
there.
Just rub them, right? Because listen, if you don't hug and rub her, oh, Pedro ain't gonna hate that. You better rub and hug that girl, cause somebody else gonna rub and
I
hug. I'm
I
just
no no
saying,
no no no
huh?
I hug and kiss my kids all the time.
Oh,
Good, good,
Yeah.
good, 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 good,
that's
good. Cause
good.
she
Yeah,
gonna get it from somebody,
exactly.
if that's if
I
that's her
I
love
Oh,
language.
Jesus.
listen. I'd rather hug my children, kiss my children, than my wife. So if she gonna get it from somebody, that's on her.
Oh,
Oh
whatever.
Lord Jesus.
You listen to
Why
this.
they do this to me every time I say every time?
But going back to, I,
Go
but
It's
ahead,
going,
5:52.
yeah.
So if you have to
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
us,
yeah.
then
I just want to
I'll
read
end
these
with
real
them.
quick.
Go ahead. What is this talking
These are our
about?
early warning signs. If to address some mental challenges that may be present, that people may exhibit.
But be careful with these
As far as labels,
things.
these are signals, but
There's just signals, okay?
they might not
Okay.
instantly define
Don't
them.
go on
Again, go
Google
to a
Google it.
professional,
and
sit
put them
down.
all together.
Don't Google it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Go
but so
ahead.
Go
these are
ahead.
just I mean these are just basics. You notice these as parents eating or sleeping too much or too little,
Yes.
right?
But okay, so each one he says, I might say a but. But uh um physically, teenagers go through that. There are gonna go through spurts of, especially boys, well, girls too, of eating a whole lot and sleeping a whole lot because their body is physically changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they're
know
grown.
your baseline and look at how their body's changing. Okay, so don't trip off of them during the summer because you have a 5 foot kid now and then they're 5'6", by the end of the summer. Okay, it happens. It does happen. Go.
Yeah.
Um, pulling away from people in usual activities.
However, pulling away from activities might be a signal for you to their peer groups might have had some changes. Most of the time when a kid is pulling away from you, they are dealing with some identification things, or
Okay.
they might be pulling away from you because you didn't listen to them.
Right.
They tried to tell you something significant. Somebody's
We did.
touching me. Something da da da. If a kid's trying to tell you something significant and you didn't listen, they're gonna pull away.
Oh, definitely.
So, go.
Yes.
Um, and I'll sum these down. Feeling helpless or hopeless. And see, again, what y'all are doing is, again, we cannot minimize what the space you guys are creating for your children is to verbalize these things. Mental
Yes.
health challenges get exponentially worse when there is hidden in a darkness where there's no safe space to talk it out, to like Anthony says, talk therapy is
Right.
extremely valuable, because if we have no one that will accept us while we're sharing some uncomfortable things, then the stigma will jump on us. Then we'll
Yeah.
shut down, we'll pull away, we'll isolate ourselves, we'll stay in that quote unquote dark space, and those things usually get worse and worse and worse. So those feelings of helplessness or hopelessness, they grow and they grow and they grow in dark spaces.
Now, the next one I actually do agree with: smoking, drinking, or using drugs more than usual. Here's what I'm going to say, and vaping. I'll add that.
These opioids.
This is what I do believe in. I think that some parents are not going to like this. It is what it is. Listen, I've seen too many kids hurt themselves. Right now, fentanyl is an issue. And
Lord.
I would love for a
Jesus.
parent to create a space to say, this is your room, but it's mine as well.
Right.
Now, I'm sorry, this is the black part of me. And if you don't like this part, turn it off, okay? But listen, I knew as a kid it was mine, but it was also my mama's. My daddy's. I didn't know this, y'all, but I found out later when I wasn't in the room and whatever. My dad would every week go through my stuff. I didn't know. So he knew what I had and didn't have in the house. He was more
Wow.
quiet about it, right?
Mm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I
Yeah.
think together. Like the older they get,
With them,
yeah, like you could do it with them, but if you create a space, like you want your kid to, there's too many kids dying. That's the
Yeah.
issue that I'm having. That's the issue that I'm having with parents saying it's their room. Like I've heard too many situations
No.
of
Well, who we
kids
tell our
coming,
kids,
a
you know?
kid coming to another kid's house.
finish up, babe.
Okay.
I'm gonna see y'all. I gotta hop
Okay,
off another
Ate.
call.
See ya.
But I've
Well,
seen
great call
too many
today.
situations. I've heard of too many situations real where a kid goes to another kid's home and dies
Oh,
because they took a candy or they did drugs, and this is recent, you know. I've heard too many situations of a kid going to to another kid's home and gets assaulted by the uncle. We
Mm,
need to, so I don't believe in the autonomy of not knowing where your kid is going. No,
right,
no, you should
right.
know who they hanging with and who's in the house,
I
and
totally
you
Oh,
should
no.
know how that family rolls with their kids. If they are more standoffish and you know that they really don't know what their kid is doing, do you
mhm.
really, then you're going to have to take a more supportive role in that other kid's life. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to allow your kid to be close to this kid that doesn't have like parents that are that, you know we
Right.
know kids that are raising themselves. Can we just be real?
Yep,
Oh
Right?
yeah.
yep,
But
yep.
as children, they don't know, like their brain is still forming
It is.
until 28. Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to be stupid. We're going to be stupid, and there are peaks of stupidity.
Yeah.
It's 11 to 13, it's 16 to 19, it's 23 to 27, depending upon the person,
Yeah.
right? We
Mhm.
have peaks of stupidity, and majority of our stupidity is with a peer group, and so the only reason, I do encourage parents to know the baseline of your kid, know how they are when they're upset, know how they are when they're happy. What's their baseline? It's not saying that if they're different that there is, oh, they're doing drugs.
Right.
It's just study your family. That's
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
That's all I'm getting to. Study your family, and
Yeah.
it's 5:58, and I don't want to hold y'all any longer, but
Oh, that's fine.
I guess it's more pressing on me because fentanyl is it's a deal breaker now. We have lost some very prestigious actors.
Right.
DMX, fentanyl.
Yeah.
What's the guy who was British that
Oh,
Heath Ledger.
played? Uh
Heath
huh.
Ledger. Heath Ledger. Who played
No,
Batman?
okay, yeah, that one. No, I don't know if it was fentanyl. Black guy lately. He's British. He played in The Wire.
Oh, Omar.
oh,
I
Omar.
forgot his real name, but you talking about Omar? Yes, he was Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah, you're
Fentanyl.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Wow.
could be just weed. So it's going to be, the prevention is going to be the baseline, knowing your and I would say know your family, right? Not
Yep.
just children, know your family
Know
member,
you
right?
better.
Have
Mhm.
a good communication style going, right? But if it is a young person, educate, 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 educate. Like right now, young people should know that weed is not the weed of back in the day. When you
Oh
talk
no.
to an old person saying they used to smoke a little, it ain't the same now. Your
No,
weed
it's
man is putting some stuff in there called fentanyl, and it is killing people. And it is
it
not,
stuff.
we're not sure what fentanyl is.
Right.
We don't know how much.
Technically, back in the day, they used to put PCP in there.
Oh my gosh, I know. I remember.
Back
Or
in the day, they
cocaine.
used to put mostly PCP because
Oh,
that's why a lot of people that smoke too much weed will end up in the
Really?
because the PCP was making them hallucinate and
Wow.
and all of that stuff. Because I remember that
I
and
didn't know that.
they would that's back in the day they put a lot of
So what you're trying to say is now fentanyl is just now the new
PCP.
drug?
Yeah,
yeah, probably
his
getting
name is
stronger.
Michael Kenneth Williams. That's his name.
Yeah, he had gone a long time with being drug free,
Yeah,
and yeah, he had a relapse, and unfortunately, it was to his
too much.
demise, his
Yeah,
final demise, and so
Right.
I think that there can be a healthy space where kids can be like, okay, this is what's going on,
Right.
right? But the
Mhm.
truth of the matter is, all of us don't have kids that say this is what's going on.
no,
That's
you
true.
don't.
So, do you
Even us,
let your
you don't say what's going on all the time. We have to sometimes, like you say, pay attention to the signs.
just ask some questions, be nosy, be
Oh yeah,
kind and
Always.
nosy.
I'm always
That's
Be
nosy.
nosy.
kind. You know,
Nosy,
be like, what you,
nosy
girl,
Jane.
what you
Yeah,
talking about? What they talking about?
nosy Jane.
I know your friend.
She would question them and then ask another question, and then ask them a question, and then she'll wait an hour, and then she'll go question them again to see if they will answer the same way they answered an hour.
Girl, you sound like my mama. But you know how to do it. You know
Vegetarian.
how to do it. There's a way, the older that they get, you can do it like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, what's Nicole talking about? She's still dating Robert. Like, remember these names, you know?
Yes, I
Because
remember
your
saying,
daughters they will talk to you. And then
yes,
when your son starts dating somebody, you like, and,
That ain't happening.
know the names. What did he just say?
don't say it won't happen. You don't know.
I didn't say it's not gonna happen. I said
You,
it won't
you're
happen.
in, you're in denial.
I am in
He is.
denial.
He is
Let me
Oh
be
completely
in
in
my
denial for a
denial.
goodness.
little bit longer, please. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. How old is he?
14.
Get out my face. He's already had a girlfriend. Oh my gosh. What
Yeah,
is
he
wrong with you?
has.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, at 14, you've had a girlfriend for one day and lost her in the same day. Like,
Oh, oh,
That
that definitely
that
happened.
happened.
He had a girlfriend. She bought him. He bought her something. She pissed him off. He said, "I'm not even taking it to her now."
Going by candy and all
He had
that
to
type
go
of
buy
stuff.
all buy the stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. I'm done.
I broke up with her
I broke up
yesterday.
with her yesterday."
I was like, what? I
see
was
what I'm
like, I didn't even know he's in a relationship.
saying? See what I'm saying?
Oh,
At 14, they last like for a day. If it's a week, that's like a 50-year marriage. What?
Shucks, man. Oh, you
Oh,
know, tell this
somebody
man.
said 2 years from now, let's come back. Yes. Sheldon, you are correct. 2 years from now, I need to hear because,
oh my
oh my
god.
Yeah,
word, the number,
that's our
yeah.
right there. That's our fan right there, Sheldon. That's our boy right
Oh
And
there.
so,
my
with
god.
our boys, we need to, because men are very physical, we need to teach them that women experience love. Not all, but most women experience love differently than men. That could be another conversation. I'm not going to
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
start another conversation,
definitely.
but
Oh
yeah, there are
no.
ways that we can talk to our kids about sex.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. And love, but love, not just sex, love. Like
yeah,
how we treat somebody when we love them and
yeah,
respect. Those are the conversations we need to be having. So,
yeah,
how do I live a life that's not selfish and not rude, but also boundaried and protects me? That's what we need
yeah,
to teach our kids. That's it. That's
yeah.
it. That's it. But I'm gonna
That,
shut up now. I'm done.
I know
I'm
you
Oh
hit
done.
it.
no. Hit on. No,
Man,
no, it was good. It was
this is
good. We
amazing. We had an
we
awesome,
had as
awesome
always. We always have
time.
an awesome time. So and you
Yes,
gave us
a lot of information.
a lot of information with the 36.
The
Say the book again.
36-hour
36
day. Yeah.
and gave us that information.
Yep.
So that I mean that's actually good on my end because over here, Alzheimer's and dementia is very strong. Is very big over here,
Yeah.
and I don't mean in he's saying it that way, but you know what I mean. It's a lot over here with that going on.
Hmm.
So
Well, a
I'm
lot
gonna
of us are living longer. So,
right, that is true. I'm gonna look
yeah.
into get the book and showing it to to a few people because I know over here in the UK there's
Please
definitely
share that book.
I know that are struggling, that are having a hard time. So yeah, I'm definitely
It's
gonna.
support group, support group, support group, support group. So, Billy, if you're
Definitely.
listening or if you come back to this, get the book, read the book with your
Yep.
wife, get some marriage coaching therapy. You
Hmm.
don't have to go each week. I want y'all to be on a 3 quarterly check-in with your marriage with your therapist, right? You ain't
Hmm.
gotta go all the time, just quarterly check-in. It's like your car, right? Your car gets maintenance. I want your marriage to get maintenance,
Yes,
especially
Yes,
because
that's
you got a
important.
person, extra person, an adult that you guys are taking care of that can really
Definitely.
affect your marriage, okay?
yeah,
Yes,
Just
definitely.
like
yes,
children, So I
yeah,
want y'all to
yeah.
quarterly do that, and then
Hmm.
I want y'all to get into a support group for caregivers, okay?
Yes,
Mm.
And that right there, I think that's going to give him more than he realizes.
yes.
Oh, I'm reading what the guy said.
Go
Yeah, that
Uh,
Sheldon.
love languages book is good.
yeah, yeah. Gotta get
You
that.
know, every time we talk to y'all, it's always so good. We could
Oh,
talk forever.
Definitely.
I
No, we could talk forever.
enjoy
Yeah,
every single
but
time.
unfortunately, we can't have the podcast go that long.
No, we gotta stop.
I'm trying to cut this thing down for the
we
radio.
actually we actually have to break it in half because
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
radio. No. For the
Go
radio,
ahead, you.
we have an hour, so we break it. So
That's right.
we'll put half
Part one,
for
part two.
part one, part two.
I love
So
it.
we did that with all the shows we did. With all the shows we did, we broke them into two parts. We had to, and it actually helped us because when we wasn't on there, we was able to still play something on the radio. So it's
Well,
still,
amen.
amen. It's still, see how God
And then
works. It still worked out.
I think the next time is kindness, right? We're gonna talk about kindness.
Yes,
Yes,
kinda
kindness
defined.
Hey,
I'm
that's my
defined.
excited.
babies. That's
Yeah,
his part. That's his part. Like, listen, because
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
between the two of us, I'm not. I am kind, but I'm not nice at all. Yeah. So I don't
Mm.
have that problem. I don't have the nice problem. Yeah. I have the I don't care problem. See, we'll talk about that next time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I cannot
I,
wait. I
I'm on
cannot
that.
wait.
I'm on that level. I think that sometimes I can be nice, but I'm definitely more I don't care level.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm definitely on that.
I think it's we'll talk about it next time. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm more in
Okay.
protection
Oh,
of
cool.
me.
Yeah, we'll get
So
into
yeah.
that week.
Yeah.
So
Bye guys. Bye
Thank you so much.
everyone.
thank
Yes, yes. Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
evening.
much.
Have a good week.
Same for y'all. Good
All right.
night. I don't
Good
know
Good
how that
night.
night.
works.
Well, it is good night for us. Yes.
Yeah.
It's still early for you. Good
Mhm.
afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah.
And good
Bye.
Bye.
night. Bye.
Oh man, that was amazing, guys. If you missed this, go back and watch it on a replay. Good information for there for you guys.
Talking
Um,
about dementia and Alzheimer's,
right.
and also mental health for
Yes.
men, children, and women.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's a lot of information. We just hope that you all will be able to use it for your for whatever's going on in your life at this
Mhm.
moment.
Mhm.
So we want to thank you all for joining us.
That's right.
We want to thank you all again um, for being a part of this show.
That's right.
And if you go back and watch, if you're going and watching it later, we want to thank you again.
Mhm.
As we always say at the end, if you want to donate, if you feel impressed, our cash app for the UK is # Goddard's Land. For the US is $ Real and Raw Podcast. And the PayPal is at Goddard's Ministry.
That's right.
So, and if you have any questions or concerns, you can always hit us up on the Goddess Ministry at gmail.com.
That's right.
And we actually need to hit up. We actually got an email,
Yeah.
and I'm bad at that, but
But we
we're
got to
gonna
do better.
But no, we do good. I mean, you hit us up, we will respond.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you get busy, but we will definitely make a point to respond.
That's right.
So, thank you again for joining us.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Zazzle.com. Search the Goddess Ministry. We do have some merch on there.
Yep.
Also on time, my wife's song.
Yeah.
Her single she has out. If you
Yep.
want to go and listen to that on Bandcamp,
That's right.
and it's $3 or £3.
That's right.
Or you can just to help support a sister.
That's right.
We thank you so much.
Mhm.
But with that in mind, we want to thank you all for joining us. My name is Pedro,
My name is Tara.
and this is the Goddess Real and Raw podcast. Peace.
Peace.